So welcome, breathing people. And we're going to focus this second week on the practice of mindfulness of breathing. So this is very common in all meditation and mindfulness practices. So we're going kind of back to basics, back to the fundamentals with this idea of our focus on the breath. So we're going to settle down first. And for a moving practice, maybe which might help us do that, what I'm going to suggest is that you bring your palms together and the elbows just out to the side. And maybe if you're in a chair, just coming away a little bit from the back of the chair. So you get that sense of connection between the hands and the arms, the arms and the shoulders and the back. And the shoulders feel strong, the arms feel strong, and the hands feel connected. So a little bit of energy in the body. And that might create a little bit of tension as well. So it may interfere with the breath. So we'll bring the breath into the movement. So we're just going to release the hands down and just wheel the arms up towards the sky. And that'll lengthen the spine a little bit. Bringing the hands together and lowering the hands to base. So we can add in an in-breath and an out-breath if you didn't with that movement. So keeping a sense of the spine long and the sitting bones going into the chair, maybe even the feet on the floor as we breathe in to extend the arms up and look up. Hands together and breathing out, bringing ourselves back to base. So a couple more times. Breathing in, sweep the arms round, lengthening, connecting the hands, and breathing out and returning to the center. One more time. Wheeling the arms round on the breath in, extending slightly, palms together, and back to center. So hands then can be released and we can just see how we feel sitting in the chair or sitting wherever we are in a supported posture. And how that gives us a little bit of sense of wakefulness, energy to the sitting, to the focus, wherever we focus. So if you in the practice feel like you're losing your energy or you're losing your focus, you could always come back and just do one of those movements or two of those movements just to reconnect yourself as a mindful movement with the breath. But if you can sit for the next 20-25 minutes and be comfortable, then we can journey through stillness. So finding your settled seat, your settled position, and if you need to do anything else that helps you feel comfortable in your seat, connected in your seat, please do. And then go inward a little bit, so eyes closed or eyes down, so that you don't have too much external stimulus. You might have the light of the day, you might have the sun, as I'm experiencing now, you might have the warmth on the body. And that's all part of it, but the focus is quite internal as well. So last week we focused on the body, and we will just return to that for the first part of the session. So we really feel connected. So we really feel here and present. And that's often easy with just really feeling the body from a perspective of the feet on the floor or whatever's connected to the ground, that real connection to the earth beneath our feet or the earth beneath our body. And anywhere else that the body's being held and supported. So the bottom, maybe the back, thighs, wherever the body is actually having that kind of connection with something. So it doesn't matter what it is or where it is, just feeling that connection. And there can be a little bit of a release into that support, as we release slightly with gravity, but without collapsing if possible. So don't just want to drop the body into the chair. We want to both relax into it, but also have that sense of wakefulness in the body and the spine. So we can be present and aware to our experiences. So spending just a few more moments being really connected to the feet on the ground. Connection of the body to the chair. And being really aware of how supported you are, how held you are by the ground, by the chair. You're releasing into it, it's supporting you. So finding that connection, that support. Sense of the ground, sense of the earth. Sense of the body being held. And then having a sense of the whole body. And having a sense of the whole breathing body, whatever that means to you. So we're probably connected with the outside of the body, and we might be connecting with the inside of the body, or we might just be connecting with the outside of the body in movement, the belly or the chest or the torso. But having a sense as much as possible of the whole breathing body. Just seeing where that takes you. So we know that the breath comes through process of filling the lungs and emptying the lungs. We know that the diaphragm muscle in the center is part of that process, but we also know as we take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide, that whole process is also being fed into every cell of the body. So the breath is part of the whole body. It creates the functioning, the health, the healing of the whole body. It is our life. It is our strength. So just being conscious of that and how that breathing body feels. How connected or not. Where the presence is felt, imagined. How the breath is received in the body. How it feels to be breathed. So we are a witness, we're a witness to the breath as it is. Don't need to change it, it will change, but we don't need to do anything particular to control the breath, unless we really want to. Just observe it, notice it. Find interest in it. So the practice is just to come back to the breath. When our mind drifts, when thoughts pop up, when we get distracted, the practice of returning to the breath and the breath in the body, breath in the whole body. And whatever way really helps you connect with that. Just a sense of the breath. Or imagining a colour or a connection with the breath. And how the body and the breath connect. How the body holds the breath. How the breath fills the body. Noticing the flow. Noticing the change. Noticing your connection to the breathing body. So maybe noticing the breath more specifically now. Where do you really notice the breath? That might change. It might always be the same place when I say, or you notice, where's the breath in my body? Where's the feeling of the movement? Where's the feeling of the connection of the breath? Is it the whole body? Or is it more particular to the belly or the chest? So focusing on the breath wherever you notice it. And being aware of why you notice it or how you notice it. It's more of aware, isn't it? Aware and a how. So that might might change. Could you play around with it being slightly bigger space or slightly smaller space, where it's felt in the body? So you could hone down into the navel or below the navel. You can expand from the front of the body to the back of the body. So just having your own play with your awareness and your focus. Finding the breath, being present to the breath. Wherever that is felt, wherever that is noticed the most. And either zooming down and being particular, or zooming outwards so there's a little bit more space for the breath to be felt. So sometimes when we focus on somewhere particular, then we are more focused. Sometimes when we focus on a bigger area, we may be energized or connect with being filled or feeling whole. So just playing with some of these different experiences of the breath. Okay, so we've zoomed into the breath in different ways in the whole body, where we feel it the most. Maybe even increasing the focus, maybe slightly widening the focus. So now we're going into maybe a little bit more the particulars of the breath. So being interested in the in-breath now. Just noticing as the in-breath comes into the body. And the wave of the in-breath. Where the in-breath fades a little bit. So we're really getting to know the in-breath. Wherever that's felt, however that's experienced. And how you connect to that part of the breath. Maybe how it feeds you, how it fills you. How it returns, moment by moment, maybe with subtle changes. And now maybe noticing the out breath. And how you feel connected to the out breath. That ability to relax, to release, to let go, or any other connection you have with that exhale. Just noticing where it begins, where it travels, and where it ends. So getting familiar, finding its qualities. And its presence in the body. A felt sense of the out breath. So an opportunity to explore the transition now. So that transition between the in-breath and the out-breath, and the out-breath and the in-breath. So there's a subtle pause there, if we can notice that. So it's not easy to notice all the time. So just be interested to see if it's there. Doesn't matter if it's not, but just be interested where the out-breath ends and where the in-breath starts. And if there's just a moment, a pause to transition between the two. And if it's comfortable and it's interesting, then you can notice the space, the pause at the end of the in-breath before it becomes the out-breath. These transitions, these breaks, these pauses, this space. This brief moment. So we're refining our connection. But at any point, if you want to go back to an earlier stage or work differently, practice differently with the breath, then please go there. Play, experience. So we're going to refine potentially even further. So it may be a repeat of something you were doing, depending where your focus was. So the focus for the breath now is at the nostrils. So that might be where you were focusing before, or it might be in your experience to notice the breath coming into the body and going out of the body. So again, as we sit in, the breath won't be strong, so it'll be a subtle breath. we might notice some cool air coming into the body that we breathe in. And we might notice some slightly warmer air leaving the nostrils, leaving the body. And that might feel a very different experience from feeling the breath in the body. We might hear the sounds. We might feel the touch. We might take in the aromas around us through the nose as we breathe. We might have a different connection with the breath coming through the nostrils. As the outside becomes the inside and the inside becomes the outside. We take the air in and release out to the world. So seeing if you can literally follow the breath in through the nostrils, down through the throat, and into the lungs. Or imagine that process of bringing the outside in. And maybe also have that connection of the breath leaving the body, being released from the lungs and up through the throat and out through the nostrils, back into the world, back into the space. So the breath as our connection with life. Our connection with the outside. Our interdependence. So, in the last few moments, we're going to return to the breathing body. So you may imagine the breath coming in through the nostrils and filling the whole body and leaving the whole body. You may stay, if you wish, with just the breath being within the body. You might have a sense of the breath living in the body. You may have a sense of the body being breathed. And maybe Just taking in also what you need to take in right now. And gently letting go of things that might be getting in the way right now. So a whole body awareness, whole breath and whole body awareness, a whole sense of the life being fed by the in-breath, and having an opportunity to let go on the out-breath, and feeling the flow of the breath, connection with the breath. You as breath, breath as you. So, reconnecting with the sounds in the room, the light in the room as you flicker your eyes, open if they were closed, and connecting to the day. Have a little bit of a wriggle, maybe have a little bit of upbeat sigh to let the breath be free again as we journey into our day. So thank you for joining me and joining yourself. So the breath is a practice that we can use moment by moment or as a more formal practice. So I hope you found something useful in that, and I will see you, or you will see me maybe next week for week 3. Take care.